cannot. Oh my. I cannot leave my hair like this. Oh my god, I look disgusting. What's up, guys? It's Kiana, and welcome back to my corner. I don't know how many times I'm gonna change my hairstyle for this video, but this is what's gonna be. And you know, I show you guys the real me. I wear my hair crazy, I look disgusting, and this is the real me. And you should be lucky because not all YouTubers show the real them. Not that there's a fake me, but this is the real me. Anyway, to the point of the video. So today I'm going to be sharing some misconceptions, I do not like this lighting, about ADHD. So for those of you who don't know, if you're new to my channel, I actually have ADHD. I was diagnosed in the 6th grade. I actually have a video where I told my story a couple years ago. I actually really hate that video and I might delete it because there's so much I left out of that video. And I really want to redo it, and I might take it down and redo it. I'm going to be doing a few misconceptions. I think there's like 6 that I decided to write down. There's so many more than that, but I just decided to choose 6 so this video doesn't get super long. But anyway, let's get in to the video. So there are so many misconceptions with every illness and every mental illness and every mental disorder out there in the world. People think that they know, like if they don't like actually have it or know somebody who has it, they think that they know about it because they've heard about it, and they think because they've heard Hollywood, you know, Hollywood's depiction on something, that they think they know about something. But sometimes Hollywood glorifies things for drama, obviously, and it doesn't always tell the truth. So anyway, I'm here to tell you the truth and give you some common misconceptions or myths about ADHD. And if you have ADHD, let me know down below. And I can't speak. Or if you struggle with any other type of mental illness, let me know down below, because I want to start doing more, you know, impactful videos on my channel. Not always fun and like entertaining, but impactful videos that have like a set purpose. So without further ado, let me just shut up and get into this video. So the first myth, and a lot of people think this because ADHD is usually found in children, is that it's not a real medical condition, which that's a really big myth, and that people think that kids or adults with ADHD, that it's not really a medical condition, that they need to try harder to focus, which to me that's just bogus. Because ADHD falls on a wide spectrum. There's like 3 or 4 different types of ADHD, and your ADHD can fall on anywhere on the spectrum, and it really just depends on who you are and what type of ADHD you have. But it is a medical condition. It's actually what is it? It's actually like a condition, like a disorder in your brain, like where everything kind of works a little bit slower, the messages get to, I forget, I know this, it's been a long time since I've really talked about ADHD, but basically it's an actual medical disorder, and it's actually a medical condition, and people think that it's not, and people think that it's just about not being able to pay attention, but that is not the truth. It is actual a medical condition and a mental disorder, and it falls on a spectrum. There's many different types of ADHD. I have a lot of ignorance towards my ADHD because I feel like I was wrongfully diagnosed. Like, I do feel like I have ADHD, but it's an actual mental illness, a mental disorder, and I was only diagnosed by my pediatrician when I was 12. I feel like I should have had further medical help to really prove my diagnosis, but she just the whole story, I'll link it below, but basically she just gathered her information, said I had ADHD. I wasn't referred to a psychiatrist or anything like that. She just started treating me, so I don't know, but it is a medical condition. Let's move on to the next one. I didn't really know how to word this one, but multiple people think that like, imagine you're a parent, and if you are a parent, then you don't really have to imagine it, but and you have a child who's experiencing, you know, ADHD, and then they go and hang out with a child who doesn't have ADHD, And later, after that day, that person goes home and goes, wow, like, they really need to get their kid together. They don't know how to parent their kid. Some people think that people with ADHD, especially with kids, they think that ADHD is a result of bad parenting, which I really don't understand these myths, because if you really know ADHD, it's not just about attention or things like that. Like I said, ADHD falls on a spectrum, so there's so many different forms and so many different symptoms you can have or won't have. It's just annoying that the myths and misconceptions people think of. But some people think that ADHD is because of bad parenting, but it's actually hereditary, and it's not because of bad parenting, and it's nobody's fault. It just happens. I had to write a list because I'm not going to remember all these. I have so many different ones, but if I don't write a list, my mind won't be able to focus on what's in my mind. But the third one I had was people with ADHD. People think that people with ADHD don't even try to pay attention or focus, which is actually wrong, because you can actually be over-focused with ADHD. Like, if there's something that you're very interested in, especially as a kid, if there's something that you're really interested in and you have ADHD, you'll be so interested in that you can't focus on anything else. It's so crazy. Like I said, it just falls on a spectrum. But that's not the case. With ADHD, your brain is trying to make you focus on 10 different things happening that you just kind of crash and burn, or you just don't know what to do. This has happened to me a lot, especially in the school setting. When I was in school, I would be trying to listen to the teacher talk, but I'd also be hearing conversation going on beside me, and I'll be trying to listen to them, or also be thinking about my homework from the next class, about that. Like, I would just be trying to focus on too many different things, and you try to focus on one thing, but your brain just doesn't let you. It's not because we can't focus or we're not trying to focus. It's just your mind and your brain takes over, and there's really no way to control it. What are y'all doing? I swear these animals don't decide to act like banshees until I have the camera on. Please do not come in here with all that. The fourth one I have is ADHD is just about being hyper. ADHD, if you don't know what it stands for, I guess I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Forgetfulness. Is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. People hear the hyperactivity and they immediately think that every person with ADHD is super hyper all the time. It really just depends. What is your problem? I'm sorry, guys. So some people with ADHD will not experience hyperactivity. It's just a symptom, and sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. I know I, especially as a kid, had really crazy hyperactivity. I still kind of experience it now, but we'll get into that later. But ADHD, and some people think that this myth kind of goes two ways. Some people think that ADHD is only about being hyper, and some people think that with ADHD, every person is hyper. So some people hear ADHD and think, oh, that's that disorder where you're hyper all the time. That's a myth, and that's not the truth. Some people experience hyperactivity with it, and some people don't. And as you get into adulthood, a lot of times your symptoms and your behaviors, is what I call them, they'll lessen. But we'll talk about that later. Let's get into the next one. And then number 5 is ADHD can only be treated with oral medication. That's actually false. Along the lines of any mental illness or disorder, there are many different therapies and things that you can do to help with this. I know my doctor one time recommended cognitive therapy. There's so many different, non-medical ways to treat this illness or medical disorder, and it's not only treated by medicine. Because I no longer take medicine for it. I kind of just treat it myself, which makes 0 sense. I actually really do need to go see a specialist and get into some type of therapy for it, because I try to manage it on my own, but let's face it, that's not going to happen, because I wouldn't have the disorder in the first place if I could manage it on my own. But I have noticed as I've gotten older that my attention span is not near as bad to focus, and it's not as bad as it was when I was a kid, but I still do experience it. And that kind of goes into the last one, which is you can outgrow ADHD. Now, when you're a kid, and you're diagnosed, usually that's when your symptoms or your behaviors, I just call it behaviors because that's kind of really what happens, is you kind of experience behaviors. Usually as a kid is when they're very, very prominent. And as you get older, you can not outgrow some of the things, but they will lessen. They won't be as prominent, or they won't be as hyperactive as they were. But you don't necessarily outgrow it. But like I said before, I've noticed as I've gotten older, I can sometimes get myself to refocus on the one thing I was trying to focus on in the first place. But I do find myself really forgetful still, and very moody still, mostly because I don't do any treatment and I really need to, which is another myth. Like we talked about, it doesn't only need to be treated by oral medication, because I was taking oral medication actually when I was younger, and honestly it did nothing for me. There are other treatments, but I never sought them out. Now that I'm older and I can really think for myself, I really do want to seek out other treatments. But that's a whole different video, and we'll get into that another time. But those were some misconceptions and myths about ADHD. And if there's anything else that you would like to know about it, you can ask me. That's pretty much it. So let me know down in the comments if you want to see me do more videos like this. I don't know why my speech is all over the place in this video. I get nervous talking about stuff that's like personal to me because I get a little insecure about it. I try not to be, but it's really hard. But anyway, see you guys next time on my corner. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out. Goodbye for now. Wait, how's it go? To you, my friend. Goodbye for now. Until we meet again.